Oh my gosh, there's only 54 days till KONA. So excited. This week's training tips are here for you, and it's going to be a little different than probably what you've heard before, common sense, but definitely think that it can revolutionize your strategy, maybe not for this season, but for next.
Athlete tips are brought to you by Rachel Branke from FitLegally in partnership with Rest Performance, the world's first smart bed. Their mission is to get you, the everyday athlete, into mode rest.
All right, so another week closer to KONA. In fact, we're down to 54 days, and I just personally, outside of training, things have really ramped up. You know, school's getting ready to start, and I just have a lot of work stuff, and it just is crazy. The kids are getting ready to go back to school, which is also all the preschool stuff is really adding on a lot. But you know, we're only 54 days away from KONA. 54, like I can't even believe it. You take that down, we even have less than that in the training period because of taper and travel time and all of that. So this week, it was like 101 heat index. It was like 70 to 90% humidity. I got some good long bricks done outside. I made some rookie mistakes. I ran out of water, which is fine because I still had infinite, you know, I still was having nutrition and everything, but it just was so hot. I was taking in more fluids. It was a little bit of a mistake, but it was great to learn that training now and that nutrition and what I needed to have, because I'm not going to be able to have a reset button on the day of KONA. Things are also picking up because Ironman's going to be coming in the next week or so to do some recording for part of my ambassadorship for KONA this year. It's part of the 40 Years of Dreams, and I'm excited to have them. But you know, of course, having cameras coming into your house adds a whole little level of stress, especially when you're in the height of Ironman training and haven't really been keeping up with the house as much as you would like to. Now this week, I could sit here and tell you about how much I hated my 3-hour run on Friday, how I basically just had to stagger my way back to the car. In fact, I actually had someone pick me up because I was going slower than I thought and wasn't going to make it back to the vehicle. And so I just had someone swing by and take me to go pick it up, but I still did my full time. I'm going to just kind of not take you guys through the pitifulness that it was ending of the week. I still got a really good long brick in. I got the long run done. Fine, great. But the biggest lessons that I learned were actually yesterday. Sundays are my, not rest days. Rest days are Saturday, but Sundays are kind of a lighter training day. I do about an hour and a half on the trainer. And so I'm at home and I spent a lot of the day doing all the cleaning mess. And while I was doing that, I was also listening and watching Ironman Mont Tremblant. And one of the lessons that I've really learned this week, and I kind of wish I had been doing it this season, I'm going to commit to it going forward, is watching what the pros do. Now, I may never be a professional triathlete. I'm not gifted in that fashion, but it is really good to watch how they are when they're on the run, when they're on the bike. The swim's a little bit harder to see, but also learning from the commentary in the comments. You know, this year, Ironman specifically has ramped up doing a lot of videos through Facebook Live, and so you're now able to watch way better in the past. In the past, you had to get on to Ironman.com and all. It was just a static camera that was watching like the swim exit, bike out, bike in, run out, and then finish line. And now they've taken the steps and really committed to this year having a couple commentators. They'll have guests on there that are pro triathletes and other brands to talk and to commentate and have true videos that are following the top professional triathletes of the day. I wish they would do some of the age groupers too so that we could watch them. But what's great about this, and they're not paying me to say this, in fact, I'm probably going to send this video so they can see my recommendations of how I'm using their videos. But I'm using it as a way to look into the playbook of these professional triathletes. Because it's one thing just to being able to read a blog post here, or interview there, or even some of their YouTube channels and get tips. It's another thing being able to watch the entire race from beginning to end. Of course, I was doing laundry and stuff in between there, but watching the race, seeing everything unfold and knowing exactly what the challenge is like, but also getting the tips and tricks, because other people that are in the chat room were also talking about what this triathlete had changed, you know, what this pro triathlete had said. So I'm able to sit down, watch one video, get professional commentator, watch professional triathletes and take notes on what they're doing at different places in the course, and also the supplement of the other triathletes that are watching. for me, I found this is a really efficient way to learn some tips and tricks that I can apply into my training and racing without having to sit here and dig through YouTube channels and blog posts and interviews and stuff out there. It gave me a real life experience. I could look at the equipment they're using, when they're taking the nutrition in, how they're responding to maybe charges and changes by competitors. And again, I'll probably never be at the elite level. I will never be at the elite level of like Lionel Sanders and Meredith Kessler, but it's incredible to watch how they deal with real life situations that we face all the time. So I encourage you guys, maybe in this week of training, you will sit down, look at that. You can watch all the videos in the past, so you can find triathletes that you look up to or maybe equate with a bit, just like with Meredith Kessler, with her being a mom and myself. It's nice to be able to see and hear her tips and tricks of coming back into the sport and how she kind of manages everything, as well as watching on race day. So find the athletes that you like, find the races that you're interested in, and that's another great thing. I'll probably never do Mont Tremblant. It's a beautiful course. I don't know what's not on my top of my bucket list. I'm chipping my way through other ones, but I'm definitely going to seek out videos for those races that I really enjoy, because again, going back, the commentators plus the chat room and just hearing about the race course itself in live fashion, even if you're watching it later, is way more helpful than just some blog post here or the research that you can do on your own. I found it completely invaluable. So this week for training, my biggest tips were get through, do what you can, embrace it sometimes that you make mistakes and stuff happens in training, and then seeing that also happen to professional triathletes in a race with only 55 days yesterday out from KONA, and it was interesting to see that, remember that they're human, and give myself a little bit of grace during training. So that is the biggest tip that I have learned for this week. I hope that it helps you guys. It seems so simple, so common sense, but honestly, I've only really ever sat down and evaluated KONA and watched all the big athletes, right, race, and here are the commentators there. Well, now Ironman and Facebook are giving us this opportunity to be able to watch this through all these other races and not just KONA during the year. So use it maybe on your rest days, kick your legs up with some Normatex, soaking in the bath, and just take in a little bit of commentary and tips that can help you with your training going forward.